Welcome to Let's Roger That. I'm Gilles. Today we need to diagnose and repair a quick attach system for a tractor, and it's going to involve some machining. Let's have a look. Okay, so let's see what's really happening with this attachment. See that? Look at that. That's crazy. So clearly this bolt and the other one on that side are completely shot. And hopefully it won't affect this part here, but we'll see. We'll have to take it apart and figure that out. So let's take it apart. So this is fine. This bushing is okay. How about this bushing? This bushing is a little bit loose, but nothing too horrendous. Okay, let's try to figure out what is wrong with all of this here. If I put this in here, this bolt is very loose. So that's clearly not a good thing. Also, we have this part here where this bushing fits into. So let's put the bushing in, and we see that it moves around a whole lot. So clearly we need to get rid of this or make a new one that'll actually fit in here on both sides, because this side does the same thing. And perhaps a bushing that went in here and actually sat in here as well. You know, if I were to turn this out a little bit on the inside and create a recess for the bushing to actually sit in here, that might resolve the problem for both sides at once. All right, let's measure these. One inch, 793. Yeah, pretty consistent. All right, let's check the other one. Yeah, same thing. So now we know the outside diameter of our bushing. As for this part here, 935, 940, 928, 942, so it's all over the map. So I'm gonna have to bore this 1.5 inch, would probably do the trick. Then I'll give us 1/4 of an inch to wear on either side. Okay, so now that I've decided that I need to enlarge this hole and bore that to about 1.5 inches, I need to clamp this in my milling machine's vise to use a boring tool. So I need to clean all this up, make this as square as possible, measure that just to make sure that it's going to be safe in the vise. All right, let's clean it up. Okay, so I've got the part in my vise, and I've got a angle reader here, and I'm off by 1.3 degrees, so really not too concerned. It's about the same on the other axis. So what I'm going to do here is use an annular cutter, and that's 1 inch, and that way it'll reduce some of the work that I'm going to have to do with my boring bar. So let's get going. Okay, so it's center as good as I want it to be. Remember, I'm not building a Mercedes or a piano here. This is for my tractor, so it's not a huge deal. All right, so I do want to add oil as I go though. All right, Put oil on my cutter in here. All right, let's start. And just like that, we have a 1-inch hole. And your cutters are fabulous. If you don't have one, I strongly suggest you get some. Okay, so let's set up the boring bar. Okay, so I've took a pass. So now I'm going to extend my boring bar a little bit that way, and I'm about 20 thousandths at a time, and keep on trucking until I achieve about 1.5 inches. That's pass number 2. I'll keep adjusting and keep boring until I achieve the proper diameter. Okay, so I just did the final pass and reached 1.5 inches on this part here. That's just the one part. This took me a couple of hours running at 20 thousandths a piece. What I'm looking for is a sliding fit. This is a sliding fit. Excellent. So I may have to do a spring pass just to clean that up a little bit, but that's it. So now I've got to repeat the process on the other side and move on from there. Now that the boring of both parts are done, I've taken the final measurements. What I'm going to do is use some pre-hardened 4140. This is a piece that's 2.5 inches in diameter, so it will accommodate everything that I need. And of course, the profile will be 1/2 inch, and that is for this portion right here. And this is going to be 1 inch, which will cover that part. All right. All right, first thing, let's face both sides of each piece. Okay. Quick look here. That's a beautiful finish. Okay, now we're going to need to drill a hole that's 870 thousandths of an inch. And finally, we're going to use a 7/8 because that's 875 thousandths and our bolts are 870. Should do the trick perfectly. Wow, excellent. This is lovely. Now that I've got these things finished, it's time to try it out. So let's put them in as a test. All right, let's put that in there, see how that works out. Nice. Okay. Of course, going to put the bolts in. That's a very nice fit. Great. Now let's talk a bit about why I chose to do this type of bushing. Previously, the bolt was the pivot point for this portion here, right? So as the impacts were transferred to the bolt, there was an immediate effect on this, square part that was directly related to that. Therefore, it took the whole impact. So now what's going to happen instead of that, the bolt only acts as a retainer. The bushing is the pivot, right? And then there's the housings, shall we call them. So if there's anywhere whatsoever, it's going to happen between the bushing and the housings. So now it's time to clean up this mess, give it a little coat of paint, grease those bushing, and do the final installation. Well, the paint is dried somehow. It's cold out here, so I'm quite surprised that it has dried. But I'm actually ready to put in my bushings. So let's put a little grease, or more than a little, onto all these surfaces. See, that was no grease before, so no wonder it wore right down. But that's all right. Okay, let's insert those bushings. Nice. Really pleased with the way things have fit. Okay. In goes the bolts. Washers. That should do the trick. Let's check it out. Well, it's a little snug, but it's okay. The hydraulics will take care of that, so that's nice. Perfect. Well, I've got myself a nice, fully functional quick attach system with a perfectly functional hinge. So that's nice. Using 4140 is perfect. It's a great for high wear functionalities and impacts, and that's exactly what this quick attach system is going to endure. So I hope that you found this video informative. Please like and subscribe, and leave me a comment if you can. I always like to hear from you. Take care. Bye bye.